So let us start our journey. Sarvesham swastirabhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham shantirbhavatu. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham. May there be completeness for all. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. You are doing it every day. You are doing it every moment, in every location, before any action. And then you check after the action, is the peace is there, is happiness there, is love and wisdom is there. We have reached to that state. Otherwise, open your eyes. So Mangalacharan, we begin it. We change the default mind to a discerning mind. The main rule of Mangalacharan is to change the default setting of the mind. Default setting of the mind is impulsive. It is eye maker. It is a wedding crasher. Because you wake up in the morning and you remember something of the past. That is the problem. So will it completely end? No. We need some kind of impulsivity also. Reflex action, impulsive nature, that is not going. We filter it out. We filter what is required and we filter what is not required. We just drop it, what is not required. That is the meaning of discerning mind. What is right, good, and proper. Take a simple example. We have been talking about the 6 treasures. Just understand in a very simple way. This is the discernment, this is dispassion, this is 6 treasures, and the 4th is the intense desire for self-discovery. What happens in the intense desire? You don't forget. When? 24/7. You don't forget. That sense of awareness is always there. Oh, I'm in every action, thought, speech, relationship, the world outside, sleeping, everything is meant for my self-discovery. You don't forget it. But to reach to that state, we have the first is discernment, second is dispassion, third is the 6 treasures we have been talking about, and 4th is the mumukshu or the intense desire. Now see that you don't have any kind of discernment between real and the false, between the false eye or the wedding crasher or the real eye. No chance. You may talk, you may practice meditation for years together, 50 years, no change at all. Oh, yes. Even Patanjali says, where he says, in first chapter he says, Vivek Khyatir Viplava Hanupaya. What is the way to succeed in meditation? Discernment. Your mind is settled in the discernment. But discernment has 3 steps. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. And I made it 4 or 5. Listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, practice and experience, then daily analysis, applying the wisdom, and experiencing the changes in your behavior and attitude every day without fail. So now what I was talking about. So now the discernment you have understood you have started applying. Now 5% of discernment. This is a beginner's life of a seeker. 10% of discernment. So when you have 10% of discernment, you have 1% of dispassion, and you have also, you can say, 0.5% of six treasures. It is directly proportional, directly related. So if you are not doing the discernment and you're directly doing the dispassion, no, now I don't want anything, I'm okay. No, attachment is already deeper within. In the absence of the discernment, you cannot progress. So these people become hypocrites. Now, so for example, just a final way, 50% of discernment, you have 10% of dispassion, you have 1% of six treasures. That is how it progresses. You have 100% of discernment, you have 50% of dispassion. Why? What about the 50%? First 8 steps. Are you doing all the 8 steps? Have you left the home of attachment or detachment? You have to check, recheck. I was telling someone yesterday that you have 90% of discernment at the time of the birth. At the time of the birth. Now you grow older. You have become 11-year-old. This master is known as Shankaracharya. At the 11-year-old, he became a renunciate. He went to the Himalayas and he got realization at the age of 16. Another 16 years, he contributed in 200 books. It has nothing to do with an individual. It has to do with powerful masses of discernment. Where the discernment lives in the intellect. It means I have to contemplate and reflect. What I have to contemplate? Let me summarize it. What we have been doing in the 6 treasures. From the next session, we will directly move that what is each treasure is. Do you have a clarity of goals in life? My honey is not listening to me. Is that your goal of life? Is it your goal in life? No, I have a lot of problems. So Master says, divide into 2 categories. Goal of life is continuous. What do you mean? Do you want happiness in the morning, not in the afternoon? No, in the afternoon also. In the evening, yes. Tomorrow, yes. After tomorrow, yes. So that is the goal of life. Peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Tell me how many of you ever think that I want peace, happiness, love, wisdom all the time in my life? If it comes by default, we are happy. But it comes by the default mind. Why? Your honey met your expectations. And tomorrow he or she will not meet your expectation. Honey means anyone in which you are related to. So discernment helps you to be very clear about goal of life. Peace, happiness. So you become more alert when the honey make you happy. So mind, you should be ready if honey makes you sad. Be prepared. What you are saying, I will never marry. You cannot marry perfect husband or wife. You cannot have a relationship with perfect mom and a daughter. You cannot have a perfect. I told you that mother wrote to me, see, my daughter is saying that I am a crazy old woman. And I told you what reply I sent to her. I said, when your daughter says make the same statement again, you said, wait for a few years. You will come into the same category. You cannot prevent it. There is no chance. Why I said so? Because then you don't get hurt. This is discernment. So that is the first goal of life, and then goals in life. Follow what is right, good and proper as far as your career, your wealth, your relationship, etc., etc., in the country in which you live. Follow that goal. Well, you should have it. You should have it. So I already explained you. This is the first beginning of the discernment. So you are very clear about the discernment in relationship to your personal, professional, social life. So discernment makes it very clear, and it minimizes your anxiety, your duality, your conflict in relationship to the world outside. And the same discernment helps you to remind you of the goal of life. But that is not the only beginning. Consistent listening, learning, contemplation, reflection definitely is the step, but it does not help you to completely get rid of your anxiety, your duality, your conflict. I'm summarizing in a different way so that it goes in. What did you say? You were saying that discernment will help you, dispassion will help you? No. How did you feel anxious, reactive, stressed? Only in that real life situation you can manage, you can transcend your anxiety. What do you mean? Who make you reactive? My honey. You have to deal with the honey in a different way, following the discernment to get rid of that reaction. What is this? You move from karma to karma yoga. That is what the karma yoga is. In every situation. Which situation? Ashok is disturbed by listening to me. So you move from karma to karma yoga. If you think, I will close my eyes and my honey will be happy, no. Honey will be more agitated. You are not reacting, you are not responding. You have to meet. If you are angry over someone, you have to meet the same person to communicate so that anger is not there. That is what the karma yoga is. I have been talking about. How I will progress into karma yoga? 8 steps. What is the 8th step? Leave the home. Lesser the attachment, lesser the binding desire, lesser your mind perceives the pleasure in the world. Karma yoga is done. 8th step, you are able to leave the home. So you live in the home and still you are not living in the home. That is the meaning. Have you heard the proverb, you live in the world but the world does not live in you? Perfect dispassion. You have reached to that point. And once you reach to that state of the dispassion, you are already there. You will experience the calmness. Someone says, honey, you are crazy. Yes, I'm more crazy than you think. No issue. You take it casually. You are already calm. But for that, I have to live. I have to follow these steps. If I don't follow these steps, it will not happen. Ashok is smiling. As if you know, Ashok has treated his honey yesterday with the discernment. So you had no issue yesterday? No reaction at all? Very good. So, what should we do? How does a seeker differentiate their response to frustration from someone operating with a default mind? You are not working with a default mind. Other is working. How should I deal with it? 8 steps. If you have understood, you will instantly answer. 8 steps. If you're not, you have to go back to again and understand. What is the significance of speed of return for a seeker? Return for a seeker. I got angry and the next moment I withdraw myself. What helps me to return? It will continue to happen in relationship, in the profession. You are following it, you may get upset, and the next moment you remember, oh, no. So your mind takes lesser time to return to the calmness. That is very important. That is very important in life, to check whether I am changing or not. If I am not changing, you will not recognize, you will not be able to reflect on it. Mangalacharan, I already talked about it. The world is a mirror. My master always used to say the world is a mirror. Implies what? Why the entire universe is a mirror? It's a metaphor. The world is a mirror implies our external reactions and conflicts reflect our internal state. Stress is internal. Triggering factor is external. What is a mirror? What is a mirror? So I have to continue checking it. Why to check it? To change my behavior and attitude. But I told you the wedding crasher, this eye maker holds it. He is wrong. Why should I say sorry? This is not the journey of the Eastern wisdom. By discernment, I understand by saying sorry, his or her anger calms down. It's better to say sorry and move on. Just move on. No, if he is 100% wrong, let he be 100% wrong. Your mind with the ego says that he is 100% wrong. Are you getting? Are you understanding? Who brands, who gives the label that you are 100% wrong? My ego. So what ego says you are 100% wrong, and the next moment it says what I have done. I can bet you. No, you say sorry, and then the other guy says sorry, and after that you still feel lonely. Now what should I say? You have nothing to say. Think. I am not saying that you follow blindly. The world is a mirror. And when this world is a mirror, what you will find, those 6 treasures starts growing starts awakening into your mind, starts revealing itself. Samadhama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhana. These 6 treasures starts awakening. Now see, the first is a passive understanding. What is passive understanding? The world is a mirror. My reaction is internal and the triggering factor is the world outside. That is one approach. Second approach I discussed about it. Do you remember? Get hit by the world. Swami Chinmaya and great master used to say, get hit by the world. One seeker approached him after 6 months, and so the seeker said to Chinmayanandi, great master, who just left his body in 1993 or 4 perhaps, if I am not mistaken. So the seeker said, Master, people criticize a lot of me and they say, they make fun of me. So Master stared into his eyes. My son, I know you are doing the practice. Continue. Because you are doing the practice, that's why you are listening to those criticisms. That's a sign that you are doing a practice. Good. Continue. Means you are getting hit by the world. People will make fun of you. Even you have been reacting, now you stop reaction at home. You are showing that you are calm. I know how much calm you have. People will definitely blame you, complain you, react to you. They will try to push you. That is another way to get hit by the world. You have to live into it. And it may take 6 months, it may take a year. But if you hide what you are doing, oh, nothing. No, I heard that you are meditating. No, I was just sitting. You are a hypocrite. Why don't you say it? You claim that you are more intelligent? Just think of it. If we are doing it, we have to get rid of it. No, I'm doing a meditation, just to relax my mind. But why you want to relax, man? I have a lot of stress, but I don't have it. And he said, yes, it depends on the individual mind. You just avoid and continue with it. That is not hypocrisy. You focus on yourself. So all these steps which I discussed today are non-negotiable. You already done it. You already understand. If these steps you follow, the life you will see. You will have a glimpses of these 6 treasures in your life. Calmness. Someone was, talking to me yesterday. He said that America is going on a deep depression? Or whatever is, the inflation word. I asked him that, are you going under inflation or depression? That is more important than anything else. I don't want to discuss politics. Are you undergoing inflation or depression? That is more important. Think. Your mind instantly responds. It does not react. So these steps are non-negotiable because meditation has to be merged with the wisdom we are listening and learning from the knowledge coming from these masters. And then you will find out that calmness, that sama is always there with you. Last but I'm just repeating. How many times? In what situation, in what relationship? In what relationship you had the anxiety, reaction, conflict, blame arise in your mind? That is what is you are hit by the word. So I have to check it back. Sometime your mind will say the other person, this is 100% wrong. Remember, wearing pressure. Just try it. Okay, now the situation is gone. How to deal with it? I have to evolve. I have a greater goal in my mind. I want awakening. If that is possible, that is becoming possible, that is happening in you, you will see. You will see. What you will see? Do you still remember FDR? As you know, can you also help me to find the God? Give me the permanent address. Send me the permanent address. I will send the God to you. Do you remember? I remember. Then why your mind is going outside in anxiety, reaction, duality, and a conflict? Simply nodding the head will not do practical. Ashok moved his head. You know, I remember the story. I was jumping. Yes, let us open for discussion. Dennis, can you?
I think that our impurities that we have in the mind, they are not obvious. They are to be discovered. And if we don't discover them, then we don't know what to change in the mind to remove them. And how to discover them. The world creates situations that trigger reactions in the mind, and then these impurities come to light because of these external situations that trigger our mind. So these external triggers, they are actually useful because they make our own impurities obvious, and they allow us then to work on them. And this is how the world tests how deep our practice and knowledge is, and how pure the mind is.
Beautifully said. If I remember 24 by 7, I'm stressing 24 by 7, we are awake in the waking state. Any problem, anxiety, duality, conflict, reaction, blame, complaint is an opportunity for me to look inside me. Conflict is internal. I can bet you will evolve. You, okay. No, I don't believe. You just practice for 1 week only. You are not blaming the world. You are internal. Word, mind, how you twisted this fact, how you move perception into projection, how you were seeking, you had the expectations from the world outside. That is why you were upset. That is the way. And then the way you responded naturally becomes karma yoga, and you need not to learn it. Response. How are you, David and Jerry?
Yeah, thank you for that, Dan. That was a nice little nugget. For me, you'd mentioned something early on about filters, and I think that we have also a default filter that we are born with or we create, and I think that's where we need to focus on Eastern wisdom, is to go in there and recreate those filters to serve our goals, which is peace, love, and happiness.
Yes. Yes. Filter. We have the filter. Recognize it. Follow discernment and dispassion, and the result is already there and then. You have anxiety reaction, you follow these principles, they are gone there and then. You need not to do the practice. And the rest, if you do the practice, you remove all those impressions, which is already accumulated in your mind. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I think the pointers are there always, and the opportunity then to see where we might be stuck, and apply the wisdom. And when we will always have opportunity, because the world is constantly changing, and then some of the habits, like our near and dear ones, or people that in our workplace, possibly there's something that repeats regularly. But what we can do is we can change how our attitude about that repetition that we're confronted with every day. And then we can see how we can bring peace to it, and maybe act with trying to create some understanding for the situation, to bring something to relieve it. We may not be able to, but that's kind of our duty, is to bring that to the relationship so that we could create more peace in that relationship.
Beautiful, yes. Discernment and dispassion is working inside. It is reflecting that situation outside. And when you are reflecting with the discernment and dispassion, obviously your behavior and attitude is definitely going to change. But if you are reacting from the default mind, we return to the same state. So it means I have to remain vigilant about others? No, vigilant about yourself. Vigilant about others. Don't worry about others. Vigilant about yourself. Yes, Samir, you want to say something?
Sir, I think that dispassion is the result of discernment.
Yeah.
If unnecessary I am playing that I am dispassionate about all the things without discernment, then it is totally fake and I am fooling myself and the world. And that is why I think lot of wrong people are here in India who are telling lot of things and people are listening to them, because
not in India, everywhere.
They are everywhere. They are showing that they are in dispassion without discernment.
Yes.
So I think if discernment is, if you follow discernment, then dispassion comes naturally to you.
Yes.
You are not attracted towards the things as you were before.
Yes.
Means you know the result of those activities, that what will happen. So your mind disassociates yourself with all these things.
Beautiful.
So dispassion, I think, come naturally.
Yes.
If discernment is followed, means in right way, then dispassion is there. It is happening with me. It is my.
That is the way our masters explains that discernment, where the discernment is located in the intellect. What it is, you get rid of the lack of thinking. What does it mean by the lack of thinking? Default mind says you are crazy. No, start thinking. Why the hell, mind, you are labeling this guy crazy? Is it your duty? Is it your responsibility? Can you stop this? This is what the discernment is located in the intellect. Default setting of the mind is located in the heart, and default discernment is located here. That is why in Eastern wisdom we say you have to first fill the head with the knowledge, let the head descend down to the heart, and the heart descends down into the hands, means your behavior and attitude. Head, heart, hands. 3H. But if you don't follow the discernment, then you will practice, you will hold it. Oh, honey, I'm leaving home. I know that you are not happy with me. Are you happy with yourself? Jerry, this happens in India almost every home at one point of time. You know, Indian culture. The husband says, no, I'm going into the Himalayas now. I will become a monk because you are not happy with me. Are you happy with yourself? You did not practice discernment. In America, the things are different. Enough is enough. And still we remain unhappy. Anyhow, Stephen.
I don't have anything to add more than what everybody said, which was great. But I do want to share that what we've talked about today, I put into action this week. My week started where there was a large potential of it to go sideways very quickly, and instead of that, I started it by saying that we're going to work today. I had a day full of long meetings. And I said to myself, we are going to watch that there'll be no reaction and we'll just respond appropriately.
Yeah.
And it from the get-go, a problem could have arose. And instead I chose to go through the listen, learn, contemplation, reflection, discernment, dispassion, and I focused on that rather than what was happening in front of me. And then all of a sudden the six treasures came into play. And it was no longer about what was happening, what the world was throwing at me. And it was at that moment I started going through the last part of it and said the practice. And immediately, just like when we talk about during our practice, my focus went to the heart center. And I realized that the practice isn't actually a action, but more of a state of being. And from that moment on, it was completely settled, and it's been an incredible week because of it. So, thank you.
Beautifully said. You see that what he was saying, and we should also do it. I will do my work sometime. I also say that. I will give this lesson in love, care, and wisdom. Irrespective, people listen to me or do not. So that response mind is returning while giving the lesson. The way he said that in professional life, I will respond to it. So when you maintain that state of a response, you get rid of that default setting of the mind. There is a dispassion and which results into the six treasures, as Stephen was saying. Yes, it is 100% possible. But these steps are non-negotiable. Let me have one more and then we will have Barbara.
I keep thinking about what one of your masters said, that the world is a mirror of our perceptions. And that's just further proof that the outside world is a compilation of everyone's perceptions, that there cannot be a reality out there. The only reality can be within you.
Can be within you. Rightly said. So that is the first step. But I have also spoken of another phrase my master used to say. When your mind is full of anxiety, duality, conflict, pressure, first you recognize that all these conflict is because of the world outside, in relationship to the world outside. So my master used to say, let the world go to hell. You are not saying your honey go to hell, but you're saying the entire world that is present in your mind should go to hell. So that is the first step, and this is the second step. So when now you see that, oh no, that guy, I have to react to that guy. Mind, you are again going into let the world go to hell. No, my dad told me that I am crazy. Oh, again, dad, craziness, what? I am not that far. You continue. That is the meaning of world go to hell. Your mind will go into the peace and happiness. Yes, you're right. Let us do the practice. We'll share our experiences later. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed in place, position. posture. Place, position, and the posture. So now, how your mind deals with the default mind, place of the body, position and posture. You are in the mode of discernment, place of the real self, position of the real self. It is just a switch on and switch off. Being comfortable, what do you remember? Being comfortable. Knowledge must be there. Change of direction first, and then we become aware of the body. We experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And then we see the sensation and the steadiness, a relative experience happens to the body with reference to the mind. What about the comfort? The comfort is eternal. We are always comfortable in every situation. It is veiled by our ignorance and impurities of the mind. So we want that state of being comfortable, being carefree. Pay attention, being carefree, separate. There is another way. A thought of anxiety comes to your mind. Mind may say that I'm upset. So you become an observer and then you label it. Oh, this is a thought of anxiety. I am not a thought and I am not upset. It is a thought. I am not a thought. That is how you separate knower from the no-nos. Many ways. And, but we don't miss it. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Keep looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. We're laying the foundation how to cultivate those, awaken to the six treasures. Not cultivate would not be the right word. So the happiness is our nature, peace is our nature, completeness, I am whole. And when my mind and intellect lives with that knowledge, you are already in the state of auspiciousness. As you shared your experiences differently from the point of different principles, it's always good to absorb others' point of view also, to reflect on it. And in that state, you look at inside the forehead in the space. Look at inside. The just space means that your mind is not moving on to any object of the world. So that is why we say you are simply aware of the space inside the forehead. Pick a point in the space. That was also there as a part of the step. And now start breathing long, deep in the hissing breath into the rib cage. Long, deep in the hissing breath into your rib cage. So what happens? You expand the entire region from the collarbone to the last rib, and you exhale from this region. So that expands and squeezes, and you continue long, deep, and hissing breath. Remember every rib expands. How do you experience that? When you inhale, you experience the distance between the ribs becomes maximum. And when you exhale, all the ribs almost touching each other. Metaphor means you squeeze completely. But when you are doing it quick and fast, it will not work. So you have to change the long, deep, and the hissing breath. You check that your every rib cage, two rib cage, have a maximum distance in during expansion, and they have a complete almost touching each other during exhalation. So why I'm saying so, in that process we are regulating the mind, we are preventing the mind to go to the default setting. But then what happens? Yes, even the science explains objectively. Science says any breathing pattern when the body is passive, when you are doing deep, long, and the hissing breath and the body is not engaged, like in jogging, first, you increase the oxygen concentration. Second, you stimulate the respiratory center in the brain. Third, you trigger the chemo and the peripheral receptors. So what happens by the trigger? You are able to acclimatize or withstand higher level of carbon dioxide concentration. Then what? Many benefits, multitude. It induces a deeper state of relaxation. On the other hand, it also increases the oxygen concentration to a threshold level. That also refreshes the brain and also helps you to get rid of the impurities of the mind. So our focus is that we should purify the mind. And now leave this, look at the breath going in and out, the flow of the breath. You are watching, observing the flow of the breath. Equal flow, not equal flow, both are good. But just you maintain your awareness. Whether both the flow are equal or not, it's simply by paying attention on the flow of the breath. So after a few minutes, the flow normally becomes equal if you have done the earlier practice correctly. What is that correct? Long, deep in the hissing, not quick and fast. And now is the time to drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. You are aware, as far as the step is concerned, you are aware, or I would say you have a knowledge that you are dropping Om Shanti without touching, without seeing loudly. So your sense of hearing and touch in the sight are working within the mind. And that gives the freedom to the prana. And in that freedom, we experience tingling, numbness, sensation in the fingers. Continue dropping Om Shanti. We already discussed, perhaps you all are aware, how you do it, it's your take. But you have to do it consciously. It may be Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, or it may be Om Shanti. Both steps have the similar result. It depends on the state of the mind, the mode and the mood of the mind at the time of doing the practice. So we need not to worry about it. Mentally you are doing, so you are not even regulating the breath. Breath has a free flow. Whether you say Om Shanti or you simply say Om Shanti, Om Shanti. So if you synchronize the mood of the mind with Om Shanti, you will find your flow of the breath is equal, becomes equal. It's moving into the zone of Tantra Yoga. I'm not moving there, just I give you some understanding. Mentally, non-verbally, no movement of the tongue, and then you are dropping. You'll have an overwhelming feeling of the sensations in these fingers. And now moving the mind inside the heart, visualize the equilateral triangle pointing upward. Where you visualize, it depends on you. You visualize in front of you, good. In the heart, yes. Both are okay. And then move the mind, dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Find the sync. If you find a clock and anti-clockwise syncs, that is the moment. You are singing mentally by pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seems to stop. You simply say Shanti. After that, what should I do? No, do nothing. Remain as you are. So it's a challenge how long you can sustain that state of doing nothing when the mind is living within. You are waiting for a revelation. You are not chanting any mantra. But sometime what will happen, your mind starts doing it automatically. Nothing automatic is accepted in the journey of meditation. Automatic means default setting of the mind. It cannot help us to reach there. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. First, whom we missed. How are you, Terry?
I was falling in and out of it. So I would know this thing, and then I would, if I went on a train of thought or something, sometimes I didn't even realize that I was thinking. I think projection, like things that are not happening, but you're thinking about them like, what if they happen? And so I would go in and out of that and just notice.
Yeah, it's okay. So what we should do, we should repeat the practice instead and check that now in and out has stopped. We continue the journey. We find a new level of awareness. That is the right approach. It's normal. How are you ever?
Thank you, sir. So mine was calm, was quiet, and the learning is that in this journey, I'm learning that I have an ability to question my mind, and that ability is always with me. So I can always ask that why my default state, my default reactions are coming. I put a question to that, and if I say that if I am able to accept my default state, then why I'm not able to accept other people's default state?
What a beautiful way.
So if I'm questioning them, then why I'm not questioning myself? And if I start questioning myself, then the other people's default state, I have no problem with it.
Yes. Yes. What Vaibhav is saying that we blame, oh, you reacted, you became angry. So I have to blame the others. But when I react and I blame, I don't blame myself. Why? Default mind says, I have a right to. You don't have a right. You see the discernment? Yes. Beautiful point that you mentioned. I think we should all remember, including me. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत बार होता है कि जैसे फैमिली के लोग हैं तो वो ट्रिगर करते हैं, करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि मैं उनके साथ बहस करूं, तो वो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब एक बाउंड्री बना के रखती हूँ, तो बिल्कुल अवॉइड करती हूँ और कई बार बोलती भी हूँ, जवाब देना भी पड़ता है, तो उसमें मैं बहुत अवेयरनेस के साथ रहता है और मतलब ट्रिगर नहीं होना।
Beautiful point. What she is saying that in the family people provoke you to enter into the argument. So she has created a boundary, not beyond this. I will not say anything. Continue saying, continue reacting. I will not say. But first time it demands a tremendous courage. You have to kill your ego to maintain that state. First time you did it and then it is possible. First time is very difficult. Beautiful point that you raised that, yeah, it's worth understanding. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. My meditation was extremely deep. It was a definite, as you described, it was a blank space throughout, with the exception of the mind hearing your transitions during the meditation, and there were no thoughts except for when you started chanting Om Shanti at the end. the thought that came to my mind is no matter what the world throws at you, I can't control it and I can't stop it. But the only thing I do have control of is how I respond to it.
Beautifully said.
So thank you.
Beautifully said. Once we live into that state, those six treasures starts manifesting. They are already there. They manifest, but we are not able to recognize, and that is what we are doing. How you, David, in that?
Thank you, sir. I find the meditation portion of our Monday, Thursday sessions becoming very, very similar insofar as there's very deep engagement in the nothingness, and I come out of these every single time with tons of energy, tons of clarity, and I'm really enjoying it. The 16 segments today, I could literally feel my thumb pressing on each segment every moment of the way. It was kind of intense.
Beautiful.
So thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, clarity should be there. You have 100% clarity. What? I'm the real self. Finished. That is the movement from ignorance to knowledge. Yes, that is the sign of the progress. Beautifully said. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. Meditation was deep. Really, each transition just took you a layer deeper, took me a layer deeper. And it's clear that the only thing that we can change is our own mind and our own thoughts and actions and words. So that's where the attention has to stay. Once it's directed outside, we know we're off.
It is possible. 100% it is possible. And when this possibility becomes your experience, that is what is understood as so-called awakening. And it is always there. It is 24/7 there. That is how we go layer by layer. Beautifully said. How are you, Samir?
Sir, one thing I have noticed that once dispassion starts happening in you, then the dispassion is towards anxiety also. Means you are not interested in anxiety also. You tell your mind how many times you will go into this. What is the result? What is going to happen? Nothing happened last time. So it is not that only worldly things you are in dispassion. The inner problems, the inner worries, you are dispassionate about all those things also. You start becoming dispassionate. Why unnecessarily I am getting into all these means dispassion work or everywhere. Means it is not one pointed thing. It works on all the points of your mind. Means I think so.
It is a most beautiful point that you mentioned. Suddenly something happens before your mind goes into anxiety. No, I'm not interested. Finished. Finished. That is a higher state of the consciousness. Samir, what is about your dispassion towards food? I have to ask your wife.
Yes, sir, it has become very, sir, now my, from last 5-6 years, I am not decreasing weight, but I am not increasing. It is totally means stable, just because this passion is there for food in me, and it is happened.
Very good.
Because I am not so crazy about eating food, that's why I have not increased my weight. That is there.
Yeah. They know. You see, they have been with me for so many years, so I know them, they know me. So his wife is always complaining, sir, dining table and food and Sami. So you see, yes, it brings up the changes. You need not to go to those experts, who manage his weight by giving you heavy doses of chemicals. You follow these simple processes. It helps you throughout your life. That is why I raised that issue.
Sir, I have I have noticed one thing: if you follow these steps, dispassion, then your weight will not increase; it will decrease.
Yes.
But if you follow these people who are giving diets, and then if for you follow for 2 months, 3 months, your weight will decrease.
Yeah.
But if you don't follow for 15 days, it will come at the same point. So it is more harmful than
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
dispassion is permanent and that is temporary.
Beautiful. Dennis.
My meditation was calm and peaceful. Some sensations were there in the body after the breathing, and the sensations in the fingers were very distinct. And then just uniform, dark, and peaceful space at the end. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, that's a good and deeper state. Stephen, we have done it? No, Stephen. We have done it. Barbara?
One of the things that I am getting from this journey is I'm learning patience. I was at a meeting last week that should have lasted perhaps an hour, and I was still there 2.5 hours, and I really managed to remain calm for the whole time.
That's a big change. Yeah, that's a big change. So, past impressions, the way we were born, the way we had our childhood, our relationship, we learned, default setting of the mind learned how to remain impatient. And when you apply these principles, it helps you to guide you how to be patient. Yes, sir. He knows. There is only one sir.
नमस्ते सर सर मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि जैसे कुछ लोगों को मैं डिसलाइक करता हूँ उनके बिहेवियर की वजह से तो दे आर आई एम लर्निंग द ईस्टर्न विजडम एंड दे आर नॉट तो दैट्स व्हाई दे आर बिहेविंग लाइक दिस तो ये सोच के मैं वहाँ से मतलब अलग हो जाता मतलब उनको अलग वो उनको लिए मेरे लिए वो भावना नहीं आती कि हाँ यस
You made a statement which causes confusion, but I will make it very clear. He says that some of the relations and people he disliked, and then he thinks that I'm learning Eastern wisdom, so I have to drop this disliking because they are not learning. So let them continue. Yes, the first step is done. The first step is the beginning. But you have to remain calm when they are in front of you. It is easier said than done.
करेक्ट सर एंड सेकंड थिंग सर मंगलाचरण शुरू कर दिया उन्होंने मॉर्निंग में बिफोर मॉर्निंग से आई डू दैट मंगलाचरण इन फ्रंट ऑफ द गुरु
So you have started doing in the morning. Very good. Not in the evening? Very good.
Not in the evening.
Not in the afternoon? Good. Very good.
Maybe.
Oh, very good.
Whenever I have time, I do that, but especially in the morning, I'm saying.
Especially in the morning, yes. Especially. Yeah. It's good. Continue, but be sincere, committed.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is all for today.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste. Thank you.